In his book, Her Worship, Hazel McCallion, Tom Urbaniak talks about the inability of dissidents to organize, and that's because they're the knobs doth speak. We got Harding over there. What a knob. That guy's... Well, he was at transit, so I don't know what the hell he's doing here now. Probably lost. Oh, they're so stupid, these people. I tell you, it's been fantastic. Okay, allow me to read this. I want to read from the book, Tom Urbaniak, Hazel McCallion, and the Development of Mississauga. Fantastic book. You should get it. It filled in a lot of little pieces of information that Freedom of Information didn't help with. So if you took the judicial inquiry, what I discovered through Freedom of Information, sitting in on Peel Youth Violence Prevention, and then this book, and you weave it all together with my experiences not running for mayor, and you see why the power, the vice-like grip that Hazel McCallion and what I call a symphony of sycophants who provide the money. I mean, let's face it, you see 20-foot posters of Hazel McCallion up on Trillium Hospital. You can't drive through Tim Hortons parking lot without seeing her. On bus shelters, together we will weather the storm, or read. And it is putrid to the point of being incestuous. But I want to read from here just because I want to record this as sort of an end and a closure to what has been 4 years of observation. I was here November 13th, 2006, under the watchful gaze at that time of Kathy Evans and a guy named Joe Kearney, Mississauga Corporate Security, and Peter McCallion was there as well. But I just want to read right now what it takes to stand up against the city of MYTHissauga. I'm going to read from Urbaniak's book right now. Quote, "In the absence of strong civil society, the McCallion paradigm gave dissenters no place for comfortable shelter if they wanted to remain active on civic matters. This in turn arrested the maturation of the local civil society, a maturation that might have progressed more quickly in the face of weak leadership and conflict. The obstacles are analogous to those described by Alexis de Tocqueville." And this is really important because this is what happens when you stand up and you say, no, there's lies, there's corruption, there's fraud, there's abuse of authority. Here's what happens to you. Quote, "The sovereign can no longer say, 'You shall think as I do on pain of death.' But he says, 'You are free to think differently from me and to retain your life, your property, and all that you possess. But if such be your determination, you are henceforth an alien among your people. You will never be chosen by your fellow citizens if you solicit their suffrages. They will affect to scorn you if you solicit their esteem. And those who are mostly persuaded of your innocence will abandon you too. lest they should be shunned in their turn. And basically what it says is that the mayors and the politicians and the burgermeisters, the sovereigns, no longer break knees and legs like they did in the old days. You're still left with your property and everything else, but what happens is that you become alienated within your own society. It works not just for dissidents who stand up and say, you're corrupt, you're a fraud, and you're a liar, which is what I'm saying to Hazel McCallion and her city of MYTHissauga, but what happens is any youth who stands up and says, no, what you're doing is wrong, the same thing. You become alienated among your own people, not listened to, ridiculed and scorned, and this is why Ontarians need the Ontario Ombudsman, because the mayor of a city should not be the authoritarian last voice. There should be somebody else to go to, because Hazel McCallion or any mayor in the province of Ontario saying they are accountable is a total lie, when accountability only happens once every 4 years. In fact, back prior to 2006, there was at least...
We want to kick us out.
Sorry, do you mind if we shut it down? So
I'm happy to shut it down.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay,
it's not going to... That's the best way of dealing with it. I hate to start out on this note, or end off on this note, but the system is too corrupt. It cannot be fixed. Something else has to happen. And unfortunately, that might. I just hope I don't live long enough to see it. Turning camera off.